are y'all doing? I've got a little Dunkin' Donuts in the mug, and I'm ready to do a little review. This is going to be a quick on-the-fly review of the new bass drum head I just ordered, the Aquarian Full Force 1. Okay, so here is the head in box. Here we have it out of the box, 10mm single ply head, and then this vented muffling ring on the inside made of plastic, sealed around the rim, and then just kind of, you know, resting on the head with these drilled holes in the muffling ring. That's kind of what Aquarian is calling their vented muffling system. Included in this, as mentioned in the description, is a regular kick pad. These are pretty thick, and some people complain that they kind of add a clicky sound to the bass drum. Some people like that, some don't. I'm kind of on the fence with it. I've used this on my current bass drum for a long time. I'm not a fan of the sound of the kick pad. I'm hoping this will be a different story. For the sake of the review, I'm going to go ahead and just use the kick pad included. We kind of want to focus on what's provided here with the package. So I'll get it seated and tuned up on the bass drum, and then we'll see how it sounds. The head that I'm using on the resonant is the Aquarian regulator series, so it's got a felt ring right around here on the inside, and then of course it's ported. That's kind of what I'm working with here. And I think it'll be like this. Okay, so set up in the context of a kit now. I wanted to test it out without the kick pad first so you could get an idea of what that sounds like. Since I currently use a plastic beater primarily, I really didn't want to damage the head before I added the kick pad. So I'm using this as a temporary just so you can get the idea of it. So lots of volume, lots of clarity, lots of attack. Now we're going to add the kick pad, and this is honestly the part where I'm a little bit apprehensive, and at this point there's really going to be no turning back. That adhesive is super good, and you probably can't see it, but feel-wise it's actually a very thick and resilient pad. So the concern I have is that it's going to affect the sound too much for my taste, but for the sake of the review, let's see. So we want it about there. I'm going to place it with the beater, just like that. That immediately gave it a more plasticky sound. But in fairness, I'm also using a plastic beater. Let's try the other one. I can tell there's some change in tone. Might be a slight loss in resonance, which is kind of unfortunate. That's kind of the way it goes with a single ply head, you know. You've either got the money to replace them all the time, or you do something that'll kind of keep it around forever like that. It's a good sounding head, open. I think I do like the sound better without the kick pad. It does close the sound up a tiny bit, but it leaves most of the projection and the attack. But on a single ply head like this, I don't imagine it would take too much time to start ripping through it. Use the kick pad at your own risk. It doesn't affect the sound too much, and of course if it sounds too clicky for you, you can always switch to a beater that is felty like this one. So that about sums it up. rejection on this is so good. The verdict is the Aquarian Force 1 is a very open sounding head. I love the sound of single ply. The vented muffling ring is just the right amount of muffling for me. I wouldn't want probably any less muffling than this, and I wouldn't want any more. In the future, I'd probably reach for a crisper sound yet, and that would probably mean maybe switching the resonant head out for a Force 2 resonant head, as opposed to right now the Regulator series with the felt ring. So I decided to do a little separate video at the end just to conclude, to add a couple of comments. One is, just bear in mind guys, for this review I am using the integrated mic on the camera and there is compression on that mic. So you're really not getting a fair representation audio-wise of what this kick is doing. But on the positive side, you do get a chance to look at it a little more closely, see the muffling ring in action with the little holes in it and everything, as well as just hear from another player to you that I really do think this head adds a nice boom to the kick. I think it's nicely resonant, but not too much. I think you can control that if you want to, and I would definitely recommend it. If you have any questions or comments, just go ahead and put them down below, and I'll talk to you later.